Gather round, gather round, gather round. Welcome back to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. Make sure we not struggle streaming. All right, everything looks good. Yes, we got another great episode for you this week. Please make sure that you are subscribed before we get started. Please make sure that you have hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss out on these episodes of what we're going to be covering. You want to make sure that when we go live, you're notified. When you hit that notification bell after you have subscribed, you get emails and it just lets you know beforehand when we're going to go live. So today we're live on both my YouTube channels and Twitch because for some reason I can't go live on Twitter. They're acting a little bougie, and Facebook as well. So we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We're not gonna stop just because we can't go live over there. We're gonna stay live over here. All right. So with that being said, thank you to the new subscribers. Also, everybody who watches the videos on the replay, I want to give a big shout out and a big salute and thank you to you guys as well. That means a lot. Everybody hit the like button that have been showing support. Everybody that has started emailing me content too. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to give a big special thank you to some of the stuff that has been a little, you know, out there. So we can't really cover that on this channel. But please, if you got some content that you want to see covered over here, do what it says right there. Email me right there. There's my email below. Right. Also, please make sure that you are supporting the channel. Please donate to the Cash App. The Cash App is right there as well. We're also doing consultations for people who want to um, go to Colombia and find a doctor or any kind of healthcare service for a small consultation fee. I can help you with that. Um, just let me know. Once again, you can contact me by email and I will reach out to you and we can get that set up for you. All right. Now that that is over with, today we're going to talk about the also famous topic that has shocked the world, not just the United States. We're talking about the world. And that is the fact that Kamala Harris is now the 2024 presidential Democratic candidate, right? And because Joe Biden has said that he cannot continue, Kamala is stepping in and taking over in his place. Now, why is this important? Because of the timing of things. Looks kind of facetious, looks kind of suspicious. Am I happy that Joe stepped down? Yeah, because I don't want to live in a world where we're going through a Project 2025 presidency under Trump. If you are not familiar with Project 2025, I suggest you go and do your research on it. Go, I mean, they put it on paper, they put it out there for the world to see. They even tried to change the name and call it Agenda 47, but it's still the same. So go check it out and make sure that you are doing your research. Don't just take my word for it. Don't take any content creator's word for anything. Just do your research. Go do your research. Find out what Project 2025 is. Find out what Agenda 47 is. Do your research on it and determine whether that's what you want to live under for the next 4 years, basically. If Trump comes into the office, that's what the Republicans are going to do. Everything in that agenda, on that paper, on that 900-page document, that's what they're going to do. But that's just my personal opinion. My personal opinion shouldn't affect you. You have your own opinions. Hopefully you're able to go out and do your own research and you're able to, come to your own conclusions and you can make these decisions for yourself. Not not that it's not okay to get advice from people because I get advice from people. I got people I consider to be elders or people who are mentors, even certain content creators like Like I used to listen to Kevin Samuels all the time. I used to get a lot of game and a lot of advice from him. There's nothing wrong with that. But you, the person or the people, you have to make the ultimate decision on what you're going to do. And today we're going to cover this because, as you can see on the picture, on the thumbnail, was this perfect timing or the perfect plan? Because was this just perfect timing for Kamala Harris to jump into this race, right? I mean, it just seems too good to be true. Or was this the perfect plan? Was this the plan all along? Okay, and we're gonna get into why I'm saying this after we review this video. I got a video that I want us to review that's gonna talk about what she's doing now. Uh, now that she has started her campaign for the presidency of the United States of America. But we're gonna get into why I'm saying that, right? But let me share my screen. I'm not gonna overtalk this. I also want to give a big shout out to my moderators. You guys are the real MVPs. My beautiful fiance, International Quiet Storm, all of you, but especially you two. You guys are really, really, really important to the channel. And I always want to make sure I give you a special shout out and let you know that.
The new window into Kamala Harris's fast-track presidential campaign. The vice president speaking on a call with donors just a short time ago. CNN's MJ Lee has details from the White House. What are you learning about this call, MJ?
Yeah, the vice president called into a meeting of her National Finance Committee this afternoon where she thanked some of the top donors to the party for their support. I spoke with one donor who was on that call, and they said that the call was really about the vice president and top campaign officials sort of laying out their vision for the 100 plus days that are now left until Election Day. They made clear that when it comes to the vice president's calendar, of course, a key priority is going to be the vice president traveling to these key battleground states. They also made clear that they are quickly reshuffling her schedule and the events on her calendar, given her new role that is now just 5 days old.
Now, her new role that is just 5 days old. Now, why am I saying what I'm saying about was this the plan all along? Because if you remember, in 2020, she was running for president against Joe Biden and was doing a damn good job. She was doing a damn good job. But all of a sudden, she just dropped out of the race and became the vice president. And when she did that, she had some people looking at her like, what is her ulterior motive for dropping out of the race and accepting the vice presidential nomination? Because we know at the time, Joe Biden was the oldest presidential candidate ever. And if he got elected, he would have been the oldest president ever, which meant if something would have happened to Joe Biden, he wouldn't have been able to continue in office, right? I mean, it was a blessing they lasted 4 years. But as you can see, while he was debating Trump and things like that, he was pretty much gone. You know, he was pretty much gone by then. I want to say by year 2 because rumors started coming out of his mental decline. The whole time, I mean, Kamala was playing her part, playing her position, which she's supposed to do. I ain't even mad at her for that, right? But she played her position well, like she was supposed to do. Ah, la caquina. Gracias. Hola, ¿cómo está? Oh, yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. Yes. Gracias, mi amor. Yes, but I want to say by year 2, he started suffering mental decline. So what happened? I mean, everyone hid it well, and the rumors started circulating. Everyone knew what was going on pretty much, but no one dared to speak up or say anything about it. But during his presidency and just during the time while he was doing what he was doing in the office, in the Oval Office, in the White House, the Republicans were doing what they could do to make sure that they can get Trump back on the campaign trail. So if it's true that these people knew what he was doing, right? If they knew that the president was declining mentally, it's obvious. It had to be obvious because you could tell. Then what was the plan? They had to have a plan put in motion. You can't tell me they were sitting there just like that, twiddling and twitching their thumbs and whatnot, doing nothing. They had to have some kind of strategies planned in the event that Biden couldn't continue. And I think that this was the plan. Hello, how are you? This had to be the plan. If it was a plan. So I'm saying this to say she stepped right in and she's took right off and now she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. Who was Caleb Moppin? Who's Caleb Moppin? Who is that? Never heard of that person. Give me a little more context. Yeah, she stepped right up to the plate and now she's laying out her strategies like political activist correspondent. Okay, all right. Thanks for that information. Appreciate it. And she's taken right off like she's been preparing for this. So this is where I'm saying, was this perfect timing or was this the perfect plan? Because like I said, if you could see Biden had problems and there was tons of videos out there showing his mental decline over the years. And I know they had something in stake, right? Because there's no way that they knew he was going to be able to go up against Trump and win in 2024, this year. There's no way possible, especially after the debate. The debate was so bad. It was embarrassing. That's why I started to create a list of videos showing people how to prepare themselves to get out of here if they want to get out of here. Because everyone should have the option if they want to. And see, that's a good thing. If you want to jump behind her and support her, I'm right there with you. Do what you got to do. Everyone just needs to do their research and make sure that they understand what'll happen if we don't, because we don't want to live in a Project 2025 Agenda 47 type of presidency in the next 4 years. It's horrible. Hey, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys, like I always say. That way we can get this message out to as many people as possible. So we stream weekly or bi-weekly sometimes, right? And sometimes I drop shorts, like I just dropped some shorts from my last trip to Colombia. You know, it's nothing really special on there. So I don't really promote women or anything like that on this channel. We don't do that over here. I just do normal things, right? So the normal things are what you're going to get when you look over here. Stuff like everyday life. I drop things like that. I also drop them on my Instagram pages, on my TikToks, all that. So you can see what normal life looks like in these other places. But YouTube is the base and you'll see everything here first. So make sure you're subscribed here so you can see what's going on here. And then from here, you can branch out to my other social medias and follow the podcast at Gracia La Quina. her statement yesterday from the protests have made things clear. What do you mean by that? Are you talking about the protest about Hamas? Because a lot of people are upset about that right now. So if that's what you're talking about, let me know. But right now, as of right now, she's taking right off like she's been planning to do this right along if something happened. And it just seems too good to be true. But it might be just what the Democratic Party needs to win the race, because now Trump is backpedaling. He doesn't want to debate her. He's coming up with excuses when he had a whole thing planned for Joe Biden. But now when it comes down to Kamala, he don't want no smoke with her. Okay. Got you. All right, yeah, I got you. All right, let's get back to the video.
I'm ready. Let's go.
We're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
We are not playing around.
A whirlwind 5 days for Kamala Harris, who is swiftly marching towards the Democratic nomination for president. Since President Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the 2024 race, Harris working at breakneck speed to raise a stunning amount of cash, lock in major Democratic endorsements like this one on Friday,
we called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you.
And hitting the road to court voters who will determine the outcome of the 2024 election.
You helped elect Joe Biden, President of the United States, and me as the first woman Vice President of the United States.
Harris also turning to weighty matters of foreign policy this week in her first days as a presidential candidate.
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister.
The vice president meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House as U.S. officials are pushing to try to finalize a ceasefire agreement. Afterwards, Harris issuing the White House's most forceful comments yet about the Israel-Hamas war.
I also expressed with the Prime Minister my serious concern about the scale of human suffering in Gaza. I will not be silent.
Those comments clearly unsettling Israeli officials, with one telling local media outlets, hopefully the remarks Harris made in her press conference won't be interpreted by Hamas as daylight between the U.S. and Israel, thereby making a deal harder to secure. As Netanyahu met with former President Donald Trump in Florida on Friday,
she's actually worse than him.
the prime minister himself also questioning Harris's remarks about the war.
To the extent that Hamas understands that there's no daylight between Israel and the United States, that expedites the deal. And I would hope that those comments don't change that.
The vice president's office quickly rejecting that suggestion, with an aide to Harris telling CNN in a statement Friday, "I don't know what they're talking about." President Biden and Vice President Harris delivered the same message in their private meetings to Prime Minister Netanyahu. It is time to get the ceasefire and hostage deal done.
Stop it right there. Now, we were just talking about that, right? And I believe that that's an area that she's going to have to work on, because foreign policy is very important in that office that she's trying to take up, and she's going to have to get better with that message. I know they might have said something in private, but when she's going public with it, I don't think that was a good look, because I don't think the prime minister wanted that message to go public. I'm pretty sure they talked about a lot of things in private, but that don't mean it was meant for the whole world to hear. And I understand she's taking a stance on what's happening over there because it's horrible. But sometimes you got to know when and where to do what, if that makes sense. Also, a lot of younger people, right? The younger vote, they're gonna hold that against her, because a lot of the young people who follow her and support her, they are not with what's going on over there and what's happening in that region. So she's got to be very careful and tread water carefully when she's doing what she's doing when it comes down to that. I think they should come up with some kind of tactics to get a ceasefire done, but I think they need to keep that behind closed doors and not put that out there in the public. Well, let's get back to the video.
Meanwhile, the prospects of the next general election debate now up in the air. Harris saying she's eager to face off against Trump in September.
Yeah, I'm ready to debate Donald Trump.
But the Trump campaign refusing to commit until they say the Democratic nominee is confirmed. Harris's top surrogates mocking that move.
Y'all see, he's backing out of the debate now. He's afraid to stand toe-to-toe with our vice president.
Well, let me stop it right there. Why is Donald Trump scared to debate Kamala Harris? I am not understanding why this is going on. Also, make sure you are following the Instagram page, guys. Follow me on Instagram, all right? Gracias like Kina. Yeah, I'm trying to understand why he's not supporting this. Okay. He keeps making up excuses on why he doesn't want to debate Kamala. And from what I'm hearing, it's because he doesn't do good against strong women. So when you don't do good against strong women, you know, you try to make sure that you avoid it, because he says a lot of racist, sexist type comments, and he can't do that against her. A permanent ceasefire that allows Israel. Okay. I got you. Yeah, I don't know why he's backpedaling. Now he was so prepared to take out Joe, but now with Kamala, it's like he's running scared. I don't really get why he's running so scared now. I mean, get up there and deal with her like he dealt with Biden. I mean, have them same remarks. I mean, the thing is, it's like he's scared to say what he's going to say to her because he knows she's going to come back. She's going to be coming back quickly. And the thing is, he, like I said earlier, he has a lot of sexist and racy remarks, and he knows that's not going to be a winning strategy against her because she's not a weak opponent to debate against. So he's running scared right now. And they're running attack ads on her, just calling her a liar, but they're going to have to do better than that if they want to beat her.
And tomorrow, the vice president will be delivering virtual remarks at a youth forum. Of course, we're seeing a bunch of different ways in which the campaign is trying to reach out to young voters and really trying to find new and creative ways to do that now that they have a new candidate. Of course, the campaign knows very well that this population is going to be incredibly critical to the outcome of the November election.
A brand new poll out just moments ago showing Harris is now in a statistical dead heat with Donald Trump, surging ahead of where Biden was just before he dropped out of the race. Earlier this month, Trump had a 6-point lead over Biden. 6 points in electoral politics in this country is a chasm. The Wall Street Journal's numbers now, though, tracking with the trend we have been seeing from other polls from CNN and the New York Times. And when it comes to the all-important indicator of voter enthusiasm, 81% of Harris voters say they're enthusiastic about her. It was 37% for Biden. And there's another poll that came out just before we came on the air, this one from Fox News, and it's in the battleground states, very important, showing Harris slightly ahead or tied with Trump in 4 all-important battleground states. We'll tick through them. Michigan, 49-49. Trump was up by 7 against Biden in the last Michigan poll. Minnesota, Harris leads 52-46. In Pennsylvania, again, it is now tied 49-49. Biden had been slipping there behind Trump in the must-win state of Pennsylvania as well. And in Wisconsin tonight, just 1 percentage point separates the two in the Fox News poll. And it all comes in the context of the eyes on Trump's ticket. Trump's running mate J.D. Vance making another unforced error tonight as he looks to tamp down criticism over his disparaging remarks about, quote, childless cat ladies.
Let me stop it right there. Now, this is why also it's important who you choose as a vice president, because J.D. Vance has already embarrassed himself. I don't really know what Donald Trump was thinking when he selected J.D. Vance for a vice presidential candidate, other than he's trying to satisfy his donors. Because the simple fact is, this guy's an idiot. And I don't even like discussing politics like this, but this is something we have to talk about here. This guy is an idiot. This guy's a pure idiot. Doesn't have a lot of experience in the Senate, and someone, you can look it up, it's online on CNN.com. One of Trump's donors just walked the man into the office and said, "Here's your vice president right here." And Trump selected him. He basically told him, "I'm gonna donate $1 billion to your campaign, but you got to select him as your vice president." And he did. That's exactly what he did. So JD is making comments, though, that's making him look like a blundering idiot. Comments like, people shouldn't run for office if they don't have kids. They shouldn't be considered for anything if they don't have kids. I don't understand what he's thinking. He sounds stupid. He sounds very, I don't know. Let's get back to it. I'm gonna let you guys determine. It's crazy though.
Instead, when he tried to dampen it down, he has created a new firestorm. Tonight, making it clear that, quote, I've got nothing against cats, but going on to say that the left has become anti-family and that Democrats want to replace American children with immigrants.
I've got nothing against cats. I've got nothing against dogs. I've got one dog. People are focusing so much on the sarcasm and not on the substance of what I actually said. And the substance of what I said, Megan, I'm sorry, it's true. It is true that we become anti-family. It is true that the left has become anti-child. But the simple point that I made is that having children, becoming a father, becoming a mother, I really do think it changes your perspective in a pretty profound way. This is about criticizing the Democratic Party for becoming anti-family and anti-child. A lot of liberals and a lot of people on the left will say, well, we can just replace American children with immigrants.
All right, well, the clarification, as he thinks it is, stems from this interview that Vance did all the way back in 2021 with Tucker Carlson.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made.
All right, at the time, and even at that time in 2021, those comments did get a lot of attention and they got a lot of criticism. So back in 2021, Vance actually tried to clarify what he meant. Here's what he said.
Look, a lot of people are unable to have kids for very complicated and important reasons. I know, good friends of mine who have struggled to find the right girl, find the right guy. There are people, of course, for biological reasons, medical reasons, that can't have children. The target of these remarks is not them. It's important to point that out.
All right, so Trump campaign and Vance himself say that those comments say that he's not going after people who can't have children. Rather, he is going after people who choose not to have children. But is that really a distinction when his fundamental conclusion is completely unchanged, which is that people who have children see the world differently and are invested in the future of their country in a way that people who don't have children aren't? I mean, just listen to what Vance said in that same speech.
Think about all those people. The names are obvious. They're well-known people. Kamala Harris, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who's now the Secretary of Transportation, Cory Booker, AOC. Think all these people. They're different. They come from different walks of life, different parts of the country. What is the one thing that unites every single one of them? Not a single one of them has any children. Why is this just a normal fact of American life? That the leaders of our country should be people who don't have a personal and direct stake in it via their own offspring, via their own children and grandchildren.
Let me stop it right there. Oh my God. This guy here. Oh my God. This is your vice president candidate for the Republican Party, guys. Okay. It's true they don't have kids. And if you want to say that the Democratic Party or the if you want to say that they are pushing anti-family rhetoric or whatever, just say that. And stop tap dancing around the subject, right? You're tap dancing around things, it looks bad. Say what you need to say and get on with it. Okay? Say what you need to say and just move on along. All right. I've said it several times in my videos. Never put yourself in a position where you need to explain what you said. And guess what he just did? And you saw him having to explain why he said what he said. It's always not a good time to be sarcastic. You got to know when to be sarcastic and when not to. And right now, he's under a microscope. This ain't the time to be sarcastic, buddy. Go be sarcastic with your friends. Don't be sarcastic while you're in this race for the White House. Idiot. You sound like an idiot. You're trying to win votes, not push people away. And talking like that, that's all you're doing is pushing people away. If you want to say they're pushing anti-family rhetoric and things like that, say that, because it's kind of true, right? It's kind of true what they got going on. You have to see what's going on. The United States used to be built on families and jobs and all that. If you notice what they're saying, now they don't even talk about those things in campaign slogans anymore. They're not talking about it right now, right? They're talking about jobs and things like that. But they're not talking about how the family structure of the United States is important. They're just not. And the Republicans, part of Project 2025 is going to they're part of the agenda that they're going to be pushing is they're going to be pushing more benefits for families, for people that are married. That's one of the things. It's just only one, right? But it's a lot of other things in there they're trying to do, like get rid of the Department of Education, Department of Homeland Security, a lot of things like that. It's going to make you scratch your head and think about it. But just trying to, talk about old childless cat ladies and things like that, that's not a good look, JD. But this is the person running for your vice president, on the Republican side. So that's what y'all got to deal with if you win. Yeah.
Right. So there's the bottom line. It's not about whether you weren't able to have children or you couldn't or you chose not to. It's about that if you don't, you are lesser. And the reality of it is, of course, if he was trying to make the point that his party is pro-family and the Democrats aren't, there are a lot of policy ways he could choose to do that. Not this way. And this could come at a cost because according to a new Pew Research Center survey, nearly half of adults under the age of 50 say they don't want kids. That's a lot of people, a lot of voters. And we're going to have much more on this in just a moment. I want to begin, though, with MJ Lee because she's out front live outside the White House on these new poll numbers, all of which just sort of came out, MJ, fast and furious. A lot for the Harris campaign to be optimistic about at this hour.
That's totally right. We have a new poll tonight from the Wall Street Journal that shows a very close two-way matchup between Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, 49 to 47%. But this is yet another survey that seems to suggest that the vice president is outperforming President Biden with traditionally Democratic leaning groups, including younger voters and voters of color, which had become trouble spots for the president before, of course, he dropped out over the weekend. And when you dig more into the details of this journal poll, you also see that there has been a spike in enthusiasm among Democrats for their presumptive nominee. You see 76% now say they feel enthusiastic about their preferred candidate. That is up from 46% that said the same previously, again, when President Biden was at the top of the ticket. One issue where Harris seems to outperform Donald Trump is the issue of abortion. Issues where Trump outperforms Harris in this poll are immigration and the economy. And I should just note, stepping back from all of the data and the polls that are coming up, of course, the new Harris campaign is very closely watching Donald Trump. They are also very closely watching his running mate, J.D. Vance, including this childless cat lady's comment. They said in a rapid response X account for the campaign that his response to the backlash amounts to an apology to cats and doubling down on attacking women. Very separately, the campaign had also sent an email describing J.D. Vance as a creep and weird. I mean, this is clearly the campaign as it is gearing up, trying to paint a specific image of Donald Trump's running mate.
He's definitely weird. I'm going to agree with that. He's most definitely weird. But that cat lady comment, all those women that live alone with them cats, they're not voting for you, J.D. Vance. They're not going to vote for Trump. Now you just embarrassed a whole lot of people. All the people that bought a dog and going to die alone, all those people. This is what you cannot do. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. Boom. Right? You have to know what to say and when not to say it. All right. This is the thing. And I try to make this abundantly clear about saying the right thing at the right times, because it's important to do that. It's very important for you to know what to say and when to say it. It's very important. And if this guy doesn't get briefed before he does interviews on talking points and they just letting him go, I don't know why they're not. They should be, like, right now, I'm pretty sure there's somebody's talking to this man about this. Is he listening is the point. Trump doesn't listen to anybody. Trump does what he wants to. Now he has to re-strategize his whole thing, but I'm pretty sure he grits his teeth every time J.D. Vance speaks. And all those cat ladies, you know. Let's get back to it.
All right. MJ, thank you very much. And weird words like creep and weird, just not words one would have associated with the Biden campaign using about Vance. I mean, there's a shift. There's a shift in tone and attitude for sure. Out front now, the Democratic mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, Stephen Reed, Lulu Garcia-Navarro of the New York Times, Anna Navarro, CNN senior political commentator, and Bill Kristol, editor-at-large of The Bulwark. Mayor, let me just start with you, and it's great to have you here, in person in New York. All right, all these polls just coming out, the Wall Street Journal poll, specifically, though, on the enthusiasm numbers. And, there's a range here. MJ was talking about one at 76%. This poll, 81% say Harris voters say they're enthusiastic about her. It was 37% for Biden just a few weeks ago. I mean, that's a 44-point jump on enthusiasm. What's happening right now inside your party?
Well, I think that there's a level of energy, level of excitement behind the vice president that's needed to make this a competitive race. I think what we see are Black voters, women voters, and younger voters very energetic and very interested, invigorated, if you will, to support the vice president. And that's what's needed to consolidate the base in the Democratic Party. And that's what's needed to make this a competitive race.
Now, that enthusiasm, of course, I know it's a national poll. Certainly, that's what we're seeing in the rallies, Lulu. But the battleground polls, there you've got dead heats. And you had, other than one state, those were dead heats prior as well. And obviously, those battleground states are crucial. There's others as well, but these are crucial ones.
These are crucial. I mean, that is what the election is going to be decided on. And this is great news for the Harris campaign. You've got to be cheering if you're in that campaign right now, because what it shows is that she really has been able to flip the script. The people who support her are now feeling really enthusiastic. Those enthusiasm numbers, I mean, look at that. Before it was like in the 30s for President Biden, and now it's like in the 80s.
Yeah.
But the number that really interested me were the double haters. Do you remember us talking about the double haters so much?
Yeah.
Because they hated Trump and they hated Biden. Well, guess what? Biden's no longer on the ticket, and they are breaking for Kamala Harris. And so being able to move the margins little by little, it means a lot in this race.
Right. And those double haters, right? I mean, that was a thing, right?
It was a thing.
Now it's a completely different world. And so, Anna, enter into the tickets mattering. We don't know the full ticket, obviously, on Kamala Harris's side. But J.D. Vance now says he's being sarcastic when he said the country was being run by a bunch of childless cat ladies, and says this is not about criticizing people who for various reasons didn't have kids, even though he fundamentally says if you don't have kids, you're not vested in the future of the country the way the people who have kids are. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I'm talking to you as a childless dog lady. And Cha-Cha and I take great offense at those remarks where J.D. Vance seems to indicate.
What did I tell you? How many people out there, how many women out there that are living alone with an animal in the house? And she just said, as a childless dog lady, you got to watch. You can't just say anything, man. Please make sure you're following me on Twitter. Twitter, just like Facebook, has upped their requirements for people to go live over there. So we can't go live over there right now. All right. Also, please make sure that you are following me on the Facebook page. We're trying to get our follower and subscriber count up over there. So please make sure you are following me over there. Also, the Instagram page, please make sure that you are following me on Instagram as well. Gracias like a cheetah. Yeah, I just said he just offended a whole lot of people by saying what he said. You can't just say anything, man. He's got a lot to learn. Someone's gonna have to school this guy, right? Back to the Kamala jumping in the race, though. If you look at these numbers and you see how everything is swinging in her favor where it wasn't swinging in Biden's favor, it's like they planned this perfectly. It's like it's almost too perfect for this to be going on like it's going on. It's like everything was put in motion like it was supposed to be, like it was a aha. Like, okay, we know Biden is not going to be able to make it too much longer. So you be ready just in case something happens. And the something has happened, and they put her into place, and now they got her going because now she has hit the road. I mean, she didn't even have to take a day. She automatically jumped right into it. It's like she already had her plan ready to go if Joe failed. And it's just the perfect timing. The timing of everything just looks so suspicious. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do certain things like that, but I mean, look how everything is swinging to her favor, and I got a feeling she's gonna win. It's just something that just seems off about it.
Indicate, and it's not just one thing taken out of context. It's not just sarcasm. He has said it in different places, and he has said it with different intentions. He's talked about people without children should have less votes, that people with children should be able to have more votes. He's talked about it when it comes to tax policy. He's talked about it in such a despective way. And I think it's really angering a lot of people. It's angering people who are childless because of choice or because of nature or because they couldn't do it. It's angering people like Jennifer Aniston, who don't come out and do politics often. And it's, it touched a nerve. It has touched a nerve. And look, I was with Kamala Harris last night. I was at her residence in a meeting of Latino leaders that had been scheduled before Joe Biden dropped out. I sense a level of enthusiasm. This is beginning to feel more like a movement and less like a traditional campaign. And I think that Democrats had been in the doldrums for a long time. They were feeling defeated even before the elections, and they were going through the motions. And this is now a campaign unburdened by the age issue and full of energy. And just the fact that J.D. Vance is proving to be quite the catastrophe is icing on the cake.
Kamala Harris is taking her new presidential campaign to somewhere she hasn't been before. TikTok. CNN's Brian Todd has the details.
With a video lasting less than 8 seconds, the vice president takes another important swing at connecting with younger voters.
Madam Vice President, are you on TikTok?
Well, I've heard that recently I've been on the For You page, so I thought I'd get on here myself.
Kamala Harris is now officially on TikTok, launching her own account on the social media platform. Within 6 hours, that first post had racked up nearly 6 million views, and Harris had accumulated more than 1 million followers.
She's a little...
Let me stop it right there. See, this is what I'm saying. It's just like everything is perfect. Everything is falling right in her lap. She knows exactly what to do and how to do it. If she starts talking about crypto, she's working social media like nobody's business. All right. She's already got the black vote. She was just on the BET Awards. She's already won the black vote. She's already done that. Now she's going after the kids. If she starts talking about crypto, she's going to win the election. Period. Bottom, hands down. You can quote me on saying that, because Trump right now is live at the Bitcoin. He's giving a live speech at the Bitcoin something, right? So if Kamala switches and starts talking about this right now, she's got this. She's got it in the bag. She's got it in the bag. I hate to say this. Nobody's going to be able to contend with her on this, right? But the timing of everything is just like boom, 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 boom. She's hitting every corner. She's on everything. She said, well, I found out I was on the For You page, so I figured I'd get on here myself. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the For You page is, to tell you the truth. And she does. So now she's on there. Yeah, okay. So let's get back to it.
Far behind. You've had President Trump on TikTok for a long time. And so she needed to get on TikTok quickly, build an audience, build a following.
Former President Donald Trump launched his TikTok account on June 1st.
The president is now on TikTok. It's my honor.
The number of Trump's followers so far dwarfs Harris's. But she's just starting on a platform that analysts say both candidates need to use to reach voters who don't consume traditional media.
They want to try to reach out to those younger voters, those, that Gen Z, millennial voter who will be out there, and especially those low information.
And for them to do that, they got to start talking about crypto. Trump already beat her to the punch. If she starts to do this, she's going to win.
Voters.
Viral political videos are always blazing on TikTok, but ahead of the election, they're gaining a lot of steam. If you want to run for office these days, it's nearly impossible not to have a TikTok.
But since becoming the presumptive Democratic nominee just a few days ago, Kamala Harris has utilized all sorts of pop culture platforms. She's just appeared on the reality show RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars with a message about the importance of voting.
We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November.
The Harris campaign's account on X now sports a brat green color, embracing the recent post by British pop star Charlie XCX that, quote, Kamala is brat. Brat is the title of Charlie XCX's latest album, but also a trend where the word is used as an adjective to describe unapologetic it girls and icons. And the internet is now awash with coconut memes, a reference to Harris poking fun at something her mother said to her when she was younger.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
All of this, analysts say, could give a critical early boost to the vice president's campaign.
Kamala Harris's allies have been preparing for this possible moment for a while now. And now that it has happened, you are seeing them really turn up the energy.
Kamala Harris's launch of a TikTok account could lead to accusations of hypocrisy, since she is still part of an administration that signed a law in April that would ban TikTok in the U.S. unless it finds a new owner. TikTok is taking legal action now to prevent that from happening.
Today, as we report at the top, the former president and his wife, Michelle Obama, endorsed Kamala Harris. Here's another look at that.
Now, this was a big thing. This was a big thing. Everybody was saying, okay, the Obamas hadn't aborted, Barack hadn't endorsed her. They do things when they want to do things. And now that they have endorsed her, nobody has anything to say. All I'm saying is the timing of everything. It just seems, I don't know. It's just me. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want to. But if you look at how things are playing out with this race, and I'm telling you, if she starts talking about crypto, she's going to win. Hands down. Because she's so damn popular right now. If she just mentions anything about it, she's going to have all of the other people. You know what I'm saying? The other people are the people that they don't know anything about right now. The other people, the crypto people, those people. Now, if she starts talking about crypto reform and doing something about those weird tax laws and all these things, right? She's going to win. And I guarantee you it's coming. You can quote me on this. It's around the corner. It's coming. So let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Was this perfect timing or was it the perfect plan? Because as you just heard the man say, they were preparing for this for a long time. So as soon as it happened, boom, they hit the ground running like it was nobody's business. And it's like, you know, she's ready to take the Oval Office right now if they let her. And Trump has no comeback for her right now. He won't even debate her. He agreed to debate on September 10th, and now he's backed out. And now that the Obamas have endorsed her, after everyone, Barack didn't endorse her, Barack didn't do this, Barack didn't do this. Here go the Obamas endorsing her now. So, you know.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh my goodness.
Well, sources tell CNN that former President Obama has been serving as a sounding board for Harris over the last 2 decades. He'd also been supportive of President Biden's re-election bid. Now, here's Randy Kaye with a look at how the Obamas have helped other presidential campaigns.
I want those of you who've been with me from the beginning of this incredible journey to be the first to know that I'm with her. I am fired up, and I cannot wait to get out there and campaign for Hillary.
I'm with her. With those words, then President Barack Obama throwing his full support behind Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign.
I don't think there's ever been someone so qualified to hold this office.
Soon after that vote of confidence, Obama hit the campaign trail together with Clinton.
Are you fired up? You ready to go? This is a choice between whether we are going to cling to some imaginary past or whether we're going to reach for the future.
Then First Lady Michelle Obama threw her weight behind Clinton, too, at the DNC convention.
We need to knock on every door. We need to get out every vote. We need to pour every last ounce of our passion and our strength and our love for this country into electing Hillary Clinton as President of the United States of America.
The Obamas amped up their own star power at this Pennsylvania event, where Bon Jovi joined them and the Clintons on stage. Just days before the 2016 election, Michelle Obama appeared with Clinton in the battleground state of North Carolina.
You guys are pretty fired up, right? I like that.
This was the first time the two women shared the stage.
Hillary has done her job. Now we need to do our job and get her elected President of the United States.
Part of Michelle Obama's motivation to campaign against Donald Trump, his false claims that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States. She wrote in her book that Trump's claim carried with it bigotry and xenophobia. Adding Donald Trump with his loud and reckless innuendos was putting my family's safety at risk. And for this, I'd never forgive him. She spoke with Oprah about it in 2018.
I don't think he knew what he was doing, that for him it was a game.
That motivation continued in 2020.
I'm so proud to endorse Joe Biden for President of the United States. I believe Joe has all the qualities we need in a president right now.
An endorsement, then stump speeches, even in the midst of the pandemic.
I love Joe Biden, and he will be a great president.
This was Flint, Michigan.
My friend, a real leader, the next president of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
In October 2020, Michelle Obama lent her voice to the closing argument for Biden.
Search your hearts and your conscience, and then vote for Joe Biden like your lives depend on it.
And on the eve of the election, Barack Obama fired up voters in Miami.
We will elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And we will leave no doubt about what this country we love stands for. Let's get to work, Florida. Let's bring this home. I love you, Miami. Honk if you're fired up.
Randy Kay, CNN, Palm Beach County, Florida.
The vice president speaking to donors a short while ago, laying out a vision for the very limited.
This is why he did not rush to endorse her. If you can't read between the lines, because you know how embarrassing it is for you to, okay, he endorsed Hillary. Hillary lost. All right. He jumped out there and endorsed her quick, him and his wife. Videos, everything, endorsing her. She lost. Right. All right. Next presidential race 4 years later, endorsed Joe Biden. Right. Biden actually won. Biden and Kamala. Right. But you can't just keep jumping into the fire every time someone needs an endorsement. You have to wait to see what's going to happen. Kamala still has not been elected the Democratic nominee, but she's going to get it. But Trump is using that for his reason to not want to debate her. But she's going to get it. So there's no excuse. But at the same time, this is why the Obamas hadn't endorsed her. Now, do I see them joining her on a campaign trail? No, I don't. This Democratic race is a shit show. I don't think they want to put their face on top of this. Would it surprise me if they did? No, it wouldn't. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to be seeing Michelle or Barack in a battleground state talking about let's get out there and vote. I don't see it. Maybe in somebody's interview that they have scheduled a plan, but that's about it. But let me know what you think, guys. I'm gonna get off here. Been on here about an hour talking about politics. I don't really like politics, but we're gonna talk about it today. Please make sure you're subscribed. Please make sure you hit that like button. All right. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you think this was perfect timing or perfect planning. I'm out. Peace.